Can everyone hear me? If every person that is listening to this webinar can hear me, can you please put on the chat, yes, we can hear you? Perfect. Okay, seems that everyone can hear me. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Okay. So can you see my screen right now? Can everyone see my screen? Okay, perfect. So whenever you go into the portal, so myspectrumorders.com, you're going to see this dashboard, okay? And in this dashboard, you're going to be able to place a new order. You're going to be able to see your account information. So if you want to go to your profile, you can see your profile here. I'm not able to log into your actual account because I don't have your password. This is something that we did for your protection because this portal is for you and for you only. So you can see your personal information here. So I took one of the customers that I do have the password, and this customer is located in South America. So we can see the phone number here. We can see the postal code. We can see the email. This is very important that you see the email where you, I'm sorry, let me share the screen again. Someone was telling me that they cannot see what I was. Can you see my screen now? Okay. So here in profile, you're going to see a dashboard, and on your left, you're going to be able to see your profile. Okay. In your profile, you're going to be able to see your email address, your city, your country, and the address where we ship your lenses. At any given point, if you want to edit that information, you can do it as well in here. Okay. You can also do shipping address. Okay. Shipping address, you can edit your shipping address in your shipping address dashboard. Okay. So here, let's go ahead and start placing a new order. So I'm going to switch screens because I don't want to place a new order for this account because once this account is live, so I'm going to go into a test account. Can you see my screen right now? Okay, perfect. So this is a test account and we're going to place an order. So every single one of you is Excel customer or distributor. So let's go into Excel context. The reason that we did this is to improve the service that you give to your customers, your doctors, the patients, and how long it takes for an order to be processed. We did a study, and in the past 6 months, and this is going to blow your mind. In the past 6 months, almost 37 to 40% of orders were incomplete. When an order is incomplete, you're going to get an email address saying you forgot to include the color, you forgot to include the etch design, you forgot to include the material, you forgot to include if this lens has plasma or no plasma, if the lens is warranted or non-warranted. So we did this in order to improve our service, and you're going to love working with this platform. So let's go ahead and start with Excel RGP lenses, okay? Please remember that RGP lenses are gas perm lenses. Pinnacle, Titan, Apex, and any lens that is a corneal lens is a corneal gas perm lens. So here we're going to put Mohammed. Mohammed Nesar, okay? Here we're going to choose the right lens, quantity, how many lenses you want, design, you're going to pick the design that you want. So you have every single gas perm design that Excel Contacts has. You have Apex, you have Bitoric, you have Pinnacle irregular cornea, Pinnacle large diameter, Pro Plus, Sphere, Star Lens, Titan, Excel Thin. So let's say that I want to order a Pinnacle. Here, you're going to be able to pick the material that you want those lenses in. So Boston Yes, Boston XO, Boston XO2, Fluorochrome 30, Fluorochrome 60, Minicon Z, Optimum Comfort, Optimum Extra, Optimum Extreme, and Optimum Infinity. Let's say that you want to choose Optimum Extra. If you want the lens to be dotted or not, that is a requirement. Please remember that we dot the lenses for the right eye with a black or a red dot. So choose yes or no if you want. I'm going to do yes. Color, very important. Every single material is going to have the colors available on that specific material. So let's say that I want to choose blue. Base curve. It is very important that you mark the base curve in millimeters, not in diopters, okay? So 7.80, diameter 9.4. The edge, please remember that Pinnacle has three different edges: flat, medium, and steep. Let's say that I want that edge design to be medium, okay? This is in case if you want a bitoric lens, okay? Or a front toric, you will add cylinder and you would add the axis. So because we don't need a bitoric lens or a front toric lens, I'm just going to choose a spherical lens and I'm going to do the spherical power of -3, okay? Plasma. Do I want plasma on that lens? Yes or no? Okay, I do want plasma. Here, you can type in all the comments that you want, okay? So I want this lens to be rushed. The patient is leaving town and I need it as soon as possible. Okay? Here, if you want to attach any documents, let's say that you want us to look at the design before we place it, you can also type in comments, please look at this design and help me design the lens based on the topographies and pictures I am attaching. So here we can browse any type of document that you want and you can upload it. As you can see, I just uploaded an image. It's a pentacam, okay? So let's say that I also want to order the left lens, but this time I don't want a Pinnacle, I want an Apex, and I want that Apex in Boston XO. I don't want a dot because the lens is the left lens, okay? The color that I want for that lens, I want it to be blue as well. Here, 790, diameter, we want 9.8 diameter. Edge, please remember that Apex also has three different edges: flat, medium, and steep. We're gonna choose flat. For the power, I'm gonna choose -10. And here in the comments, I want this lens rushed as well. Patient leaving town. And here you can also attach any type of consultation, document, picture, topography, fluorogram, anything that you want. Here at the bottom of your screen, you're going to have two different tabs: Buy Now and Add to the Cart. If you hit Buy Now, that lens is going to go immediately into the orders and is going to go to the lab. If you add to the cart, which I'm going to show you in a second, we're going to do add to the cart. Here, you're going to be able to see the lenses that you're placing. You're going to be able to see the lens provider, the patient's name, Mohammed Nassar. You're going to be able to see the pricing structure. You're going to be able to see the quantity, the design, the material, if you want dot or not, the parameters: blue, 7.8, diameter 9.4, the edge is medium, the power -3, plasma treatment, yes. The comments that you put, look at the comments. I want this lens to be rushed. The patient is leaving town and I need it as soon as possible. Please look this design and help me design the lens based on the topos and pictures. Here are the documents that you uploaded: pentacams, fluorograms, pictures, videos, anything that you want. Same thing for the left eye, okay? If you want to change that order, you can hit cancel and the order will be canceled. Or if you can see that the order has been placed with the parameters and the specifications that you want, you just hit save. And that order immediately is going to go to your shopping cart. So as you can see, so let me erase this because this is a test that we did before. So here, you can have all the lenses in your shopping cart. Lenses that are left in the shopping cart are lenses that are not sent to production. So a lot of our accounts, what they do is they place orders, just like what you do with Amazon or Temu. You place orders and they get added to the cart, to your shopping cart. Once you're ready to place those orders, you can select one by one, or you can select them all, and you can hit buy now. Okay? So please confirm the selected two products. Okay? Place the order, and the order has been placed. Okay? As you can see, Mohammed Nisar has been placed. Okay? Here, you can see the details of the lens that you just placed. Okay? So now, let's go and place other orders. Again, please let me know if you have any questions so far. So now, let's go into Atlantis scleral lens. We're going to place an order for, let's do Naji Basil. Okay? So because I chose Atlantis scleral lens, do I want DMBs? Yes or no? Yes, I want DMBs. Okay? The quantity. Okay, I'm going to start with the OD, the right lens, the right eye. Select the design. Here is where you choose what Atlantis lens design you want. Atlantis spherical, Atlantis toric peripheral curves, Atlantis front torics, Atlantis 3D, Atlantis multifocal, Atlantis 2.0, Atlantis large diameter. So please remember that you have in your price list, you have different sections for different types of lenses. Atlantis spherical, TPC, front toric, 3D, multifocal, Atlantis 2.0, and Atlantis large diameter. I know here you have an account in Saudi Arabia that has two accounts, one that we ship to Saudi Arabia and another account that is a Jordanian account. So Mr. Jesse Spirit, you're going to have two logins for your site. You're going to have one for Al Musabi Al Arabi for Saudi Arabia, and you're going to have an account for your Jordan account for Atlantis 2.0. Okay? So let's say that I want to order Atlantic spherical lens. Okay, the materials. We listed all the materials available in Atlantic spherical lens. Okay, Boston XO, do I want a dot? Yes or no? Yes, I want the dot. Color, I want it clear. The base curve in mm, I want 780. Diameter, I want 15.0. Here, this is if you want a multifocal lens. Okay? But if you want a multifocal lens, you should choose Atlantis multifocal, not Atlantis spherical. Because if you choose Atlantis spherical, that lens will no longer be a spherical lens. That lens will be spherical plus multifocal. So here is if you want to change the clearance, the central clearance or the limbal clearance. This is why we left it blank. But you can say central clearance, I want 300 microns. And then the limbal clearance, I want 200 microns. Here in the power, I want -4, okay? Because you chose an Atlantis spherical lens, you should not choose cylinder and you should not choose axis. If you choose cylinder and axis, that lens will no longer be a spherical lens. You need to choose Atlantis front toric for that, okay? Here, if you leave this blank, we're gonna keep that lens as a standard lens. So here is where you choose the limbal zone. Please remember, in Atlantis, in every single Atlantis, you have steep 1, steep 2, standard, flat 1, and flat 2. Okay? So let's say that I want the limbal zone to be standard. Scleral zone. In the Atlantis spherical lens, you have steep 1, standard, flat 1, flat 2, and flat 3. So let's say that I want flat 3. Do I want HydraPeg? Yes or no? Yes, I want HydraPeg. Do I want warranty? Yes or no? Yes, I do want that lens with warranty. Here, please adjust my central clearance and my limbo clearance to what I reported. Okay? So here we have the two options, buy now or add to the cart. Let's add it to the cart. Here again, you're gonna see the entire lenses that you're typing in. Please remember, when information was missing, your lenses will take 3 to 4 days or even a week, or sometimes even longer to be manufactured. Because this is what happens. So if you forgot the material, Excel Context is going to ask you for the material. If you forgot if you want that lens dotted or not, Excel Context is going to ask you if you want that lens dotted or not. If, for example, you forgot to put the scleral zone, Excel Context is going to require the scleral zone. So sometimes Dr. Hend in Saudi Arabia or Dr. Naji or Mr. Pierre Antaki in Lebanon, they will have to refer to the doctors to give them this answer. And that answer could take several days. And because of the time difference between the United States and the Middle East, it is easier if you have this portal available. Why? Because every single information that we require is going to be mandatory. And if you don't have that information while we're sleeping, you can go ahead and contact your doctor, whoever placed the order for you, and you can ask them, hey, doctor, do you want a dot? Yes or no? Do you want that lens to be clear or blue? Do you want, what do you want on your scleral zone? Do you want flat 1, flat 2, or flat 3? So this will cut down and minimize the delivery times and the manufacturing times by a lot. Like I said, in the first 6 months of business, we did a study and almost 40% of orders were incomplete. So imagine that's a huge chunk of orders that are always incomplete. So let's just sit safe. Let's keep placing more orders. Let's do Atlantis. Let's do another Atlantis. Let's do another. Okay, so if I want to order 2.0 and front torques designed or the original design with a front torque, okay? So if you want to order a 2.0 and front torques design or the original design with front torque, you choose the particular lens that you want, Subo. So let's order so Subo. So let me answer that question directly. And you're going to see the material options as well. I just showed you, but I'm going to show you again. So let's place an order for Mr. Subo Madanat. Okay. So let's place an order. So DMBs, yes or no? Okay. I don't want DMBs on this time because I have DMBs in stock. So Subo, here is where you want the Atlantis front torque. If you want Atlantis front torque, you choose Atlantis front torque. Here is the materials that you have available. Boston XO, Boston ES, Boston XO2, Paragon HDS 100, Optimum Extra, Optimum Extreme, Optimum Infinite. So let's say that you want that lens in Optimum Extra. I don't want a dot this time. Color, blue. Base curve, 7.80. Diameter, 15.5. Okay? Here, because you chose front torque, Subo, you have to choose the power that you want on that front torque. So I want minus 250 cylinder, and I want the axis to be 15th. Here, remember, you have to hit the limbal zone that you want. If you don't hit the limbal zone, we're going to do standard limbal zone. So let's say that I want flat 1 on that lens. Scleral zone. Remember, on the scleral zone, you also have to mark the scleral zone. Steep 1, standard, flat 1, flat 2, and flat 3. Let's say that I want flat 3. Warranty, yes or no? Yes, I do want warranty. And here you can type any comment that you want. And let's place that order. Add to the cart. Here, you're going to be able to see what you placed. Quantity 1, Atlantis front torque, because you want a front torque lens. You want Optimum Extra in blue, 7.8, 15.5, power -3, cylinder -250, access 15, limbal zone flat 1, scleral zone flat 3, warranty yes. Save, and that lens is now in the shopping cart. Let's do another one. Let's do another Atlantis, okay? So let's pick another patient's name. So let's see if we have questions. And here, remember that every single Atlantis comes with warranty. There's some accounts in the Middle East that have the option to order lenses with and without warranty, okay? So here let's choose another patient name. Dr. Han Kamal, okay? And Dr. Han Kamal, we do want DMBs. I want to place the right eye only. The design, I want to order Atlantis 2.0. Materials, this time I want Optimum Extreme. I do want a dot. Color, blue or clear? Clear. Base curves. So if you can see, these are all the base curves that are listed in your fitting set. So if you see the Atlantis 2.0 fitting set, these are all the base curves reported and available in the fitting set. Diameter, because you chose an Atlantis 2.0, Atlantis 2.0 has different diameters. So let's say that I want to choose 17.0. Remember, the Atlantis 2.0, you have a 3D volt. And the 3D volt, you have to choose the volt to be in, standard, or out. And this was explained on the different webinars, seminars that we have held. And you can also see this in the fitting guides. So I want the volt to be out, okay? Here, the CSA, you can choose the CSA, what you want the CSA to be. I want -100, -50, I want it at 0, I want +50, +100, +150. So let's choose -200, okay? Here, because you don't need to type distance zone because you're not doing a multifocal. Clearance centrally, the clearance centrally is what you have in the fitting set, but let's say 300, limbal clearance 200, power -3, okay? Cylinder, if you want that lens, the Atlantis 2.0, if you want that lens to be toric, front toric, you type in the cylinder. The axis, 7. Okay, HydraPeg, yes or no? Yes. Warranty, yes or no? Yes, I do want HydraPeg. Because this is an Atlantis 2.0, please remember the Atlantis 2.0 has some dots or at quadrant 2, okay? So let's say that the dot at quadrant 2 is located at 1:30 o'clock. And here, because Atlantis has different microns of flat microns or steep microns, you can choose whatever you want here in your zones. So limbal zone, I want +1. Scleral zone, I want -3. Here, I want +1 and I want -2. Here, I want +1 and the scleral zone, I want -2. Quadrant 2, I want +1 and I want -2. And here you have the explanation that minus is flatter and plus is steeper. Here you can type all the comments that you want. Okay, so let's add this order to the shopping cart. Okay, so Han Kamal, we just placed an order. Here is going to tell you exactly what you order for that patient. And here you can hit save. Now, let's go into an Excel soft. Okay, so let's choose another patient. Okay, Joy Indak is my patient. Okay, and here, if you can see in every single one of the options, you can hit the download the fitting guide, and you can actually see the fitting guide that you want to order. And here you can have all the different lenses associated. So if you have questions regarding the parameter, if you have questions regarding the fitting guide, you can refer to that screen and you can see the parameters that are available. So for example, a customer of ours last week tried to order a FlexLens ARC. Okay. And here, the FlexLens ARC, they tried to order a base curve of 9.2. As you can see, FlexLens ARC only comes in base curves of 8.7. So you're always going to have this guide available to you in every single portal of the lenses that you're trying to place, so that you can check the parameter availability, you can check the prescriptions, you can check the colors, you can check anything, you can check the materials, you can check all the information you want. Okay, so let's say that I want to order a FlexLens custom lens. So you have the adult aphakic, the XL multifocal, the FlexLens ARC, piggyback, FlexLens arch diameter, FlexLens PRS, spherical, toric, tricurve, sphere, toric, pediatric aphakic. So you're going to have all of the custom soft lenses there. So let's say that I want to order a FlexLens arc. Okay, I want that lens to be in 74% material, silicone hydrogel. Look at this. This is very important. Presentation. I want it in a single vial, a spare blister, or I want it in a 3-pack. Majority of you order single vial lenses. Okay? Color. You can choose clear or visitant. Okay? So let's do clear. Base curve, 7.8. Diameter, 14.5. Center thickness. This is something that a lot of your orders are missing when you place a FlexLens ARC. Please remember that there are two thicknesses on FlexLens ARC, 0.30 or 0.50. If you don't mark this, we're not going to be able to process the order. So let's say that I forgot to include the center thickness, and I want to add that order to my cart. Is not going to allow me. So center thickness, I want 0.50, and I want the power to be -8. Cylinder, I want -3. Axis, I want that axis to be at 175. Comments, any comment that you want. And now, because I chose every single one of the mandatory fields, I can add that lens to my cart. So here we can see the patient Joy Indak. You can see the lens design you chose, the material, the presentation, single vial, clear, 7.8, 14.5, CT 0.50, power -8, cylinder -3, axis 175. Of course, I just put gibberish in that. So, but whatever comment you put there, we're going to be able to read and see. I'm going to hit save. Okay, let's place another order. Let's place an Atlantis lens, because there are several Atlantis lenses that you order on a daily basis. Let's see the questions that you have. In the event of user error, is it possible to retrieve, track, or amend an order? Will we receive an acknowledgement or confirmation? Yes, so let me answer the questions one at a time. In the event that you have a user error, you have that window that I just showed you, that you have the ability to cancel the order. Once you place the order, you have about 1 to 2 hours to make modifications to that order. You have to tell us, hey, I just placed an order on MSO. I made a mistake. Please cancel that order. After 2 hours have passed by, that order has gone through the lab and there are no changes to be made. It's just like if we receive an email, Jesse. If we receive an email right now with your order and we place that order right now, the lab is going to start manufacturing that lens within 2 hours. Within those 2 hour windows, you can make changes, but after 2 hours, that lens is already manufacturing and you cannot make any changes. So it's very similar to the email, okay? Well, second question that Jesse Spirit to have. Will I receive acknowledgement or confirmation received after I place the order? Yes, and I'm gonna show you exactly the confirmations that you will get. It is very important that you're in your profile that you mark the email where you want to receive confirmations, questions, anything that you want. We're always going to refer to the email address that you have in your profile in order to communicate with you. And yes, you're going to receive an email with a confirmation number and a PDF attached to the email saying, we have received your order and this is the order that you have placed. Okay? Dr. Hen is asking, for me it's clear, but you know what the doctor sent the prescription without complete information. So I need a PDF form to send the doctors to make any prescription for any patient. We need all of this data. Dr. Hen, you have all the order forms with you. If you need any order forms, please send me an email and I will send you the order forms. Yes, I understand your pain. A lot of the doctors do not include all the information. So if we don't have complete information, even if you place the order through email, that order is not going to get processed. We have to have orders that are complete with information. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to place that order. So what I will do is after this conference call, every single person that registered for this event, I'm going to send them the order forms for Excel, RGPs, custom soft, and Atlantis. Okay? So let's place another order. Give me 1 second. Let's do Dr. Nasser Al-Shami. Okay? I do want a DMB. I want the right lens only. And I want this lens to be Atlantis front toric. Okay? I want that lens to be Optimum Extra. Color, I want it clear. Base curve, 7.70. Diameter, 15.5. Addition is not needed. Distance zone is not needed. Clearance, central clearance is not needed as well because we know that an Atlantis base curve 7.70, diameter 15.5 comes with a certain central clearance and certain limbal clearance. Okay? So I want -4. Please remember, you chose Atlantis front toric. If you don't mark the cylinder, we're going to send you a spherical lens. So it's very important that if you chose Atlantis front toric, that you mark the cylinder and the axis that you want. Okay? Please remember that every single Atlantis, you have to mark the limbal zone. So I want flat 2. Scleral zone, I want flat 1. HydraPeg, yes or no? Yes, I do want HydraPeg. And I want warranty, yes or no? Yes, I want warranty. Some accounts here have the ability to order these lenses in a vial. I want this order to be packed in a vial. Please use vial packaging. Here you can attach any document, or you can also choose, please do not place this order. Please have a consultant communicate with me as I have questions. You can choose whatever you want. You can type whatever you want, but for this time, I want this lens in vial. Okay? And we're gonna add it to the cart. And we're gonna hit save. So now let's go to the shopping cart. Here, you're gonna be able to see all of the orders that we recently placed. Remember, we placed Naji Basil, Subo Balanat, Dr. Patient Hen, patient Joy, and patient Nasser Al-Shalmi. Let's say that I want to order all of the lenses except for the Dr. Al-Shalmi because that doctor has not paid us or because the doctor doesn't know if he wants to place the order. So I am just going to go and buy all of the lenses except for Dr. Nesar Al-Shalmi. By now, the lenses have been ordered. Okay? So here in the shopping cart, if you want to see the order that you have in your shopping cart, you can do so. Okay? You can edit it. So Jesse, to ask your question, let's say that I want 2 lenses instead of 1. Quantity 2. Let's say that I don't want user error. I type in Optimum Extra, but I don't want Optimum Extra. I want Optimum Extreme. I can change that. Based on user error, I don't want 7.7 base curve. I want 7.8. Instead of diameter 15.5, I want 15.0. Okay? Here I can hit save, and that order has been modified to what you chose. You see, 7.8, 15.0. So now if you want to buy that order, you hit buy now. Okay? Here, you're going to have a dashboard on your left column that I'm going to show you in just a second. Here on the left, you're going to have a portal, right? And in this portal, you're going to be able to see all of the orders that you have placed, okay? So let's do my orders, okay? And in my orders, I'm going to be able to see all the process orders that we have placed, okay? So remember I told you that you have about 2 hours for those lenses to be confirmed. So once you place the order, that order goes into our portal and we released every single order. So you have a window within 1 or 2 hours. If you want to make changes, you want to cancel the order or something happens to that order, you have about an hour or 2 to make those changes, but you need to communicate with us urgently, okay? So here are all the orders that are processed. All of these orders have gone through the lab and they have been processed, okay? So let's say that I want to generate a warranty, okay? Remember, only orders that have been placed using the portal are eligible for warranties using the portal. So let's say that you placed an order last week via email. You're not going to be able to see that order in your portal. Only orders placed to the portal, you're going to be able to see them in the portal. And only orders placed to the portal, you're going to be able to generate the warranties. Okay? So here you have different patients that have been placed and those lenses have been confirmed. So let's say that you already received the order for Haytham Al-Ghari and you want to generate a warranty. So you hit generate warranty. So the system is going to ask you, the warranty will be automatically generated using the details from the selected order. You can review and adjust the values from the warranty details available in the pending order list. Would you like to proceed with generate warranty? Yes, I want to proceed to generate that warranty. So as you can see, this order now has been updated to October 22nd, which is today. So here you're going to be able to edit that lens and create a warranty. So I don't want a DMB because the patient already received the DMBs on the original order. I want to change the material. I want to change it to Optimum Extra. Okay? I want to change the base curve to 7.5. I want to change the diameter to 15.5. I want to change, because I changed the base curve, I had to change the power. So let's say that I want to change the power to -4. And the cylinder, because I did an over refraction, the cylinder is no longer -2. The cylinder is now -3. And the axis that I need is no longer 13. I need axis of 20. And I don't want the limbo zone to be standard. I want the limbo zone to be steep because I was getting touch. The scleral zone, I don't want it to be standard because the patient is impinging and blanching. I want flat 1. you hit save, and that warranty has been placed. Okay? So let's go to the questions right now. What about the replacement? Can you please ask me the question a little bit more clear? I don't understand what is the replacement. And this is a question from Dr. Hand. Are you talking about Atlantis? Are you talking about RGPs? Are you talking about flex lens? What are you talking about, Dr. Hand? So a lot of our customers, what they do is they place orders throughout the day. And before they leave their offices, once they get confirmation that the customer does want to place the order, they go into the shopping cart and they release all of the orders that they have in the shopping cart. But you also have the ability to hit buy now. Okay? What I think Dr. Hent is referring to is the replacement lens for flex lens. So let's do a flex lens custom soft lens. Dr. Hen, Office 2. Okay, so here's the right lens. I want flex lens ARC materials. I want definitive 49%. And here is where you have the replacement lens, which I think is what you're referring to. So if you want a spare, which is the replacement lens, you order a spare lens. I believe I answered your question, Dr. Hen. Atlantis, if an order, I need a replacement. Okay, this Atlantis, then you go to your portal. You go to your portal. So let's go to the dashboard. Here, you can go to your orders, processed orders, and here, I want to generate a duplicate. You can see my screen here. I want to generate a duplicate. I want the same order to be duplicated. I want to duplicate. Yes. Okay, that order has been generated. As you can see here, you just placed an order on October 22nd and the same lens that you ordered before. So here is the most beautiful part of this, guys. Here, you're going to be able to see all of your orders. You're going to be able to see your pending orders, your process orders. You're going to be able to have an entire screen of orders that that you can have a little bit more information on those lenses. Okay. The ready to ship orders and shipped orders, those two buttons are not live yet. So the only two things that you have available are pending orders, which you can see here. So these are all the pending orders that we have placed today that have not been released. Okay. You can see all the process orders. These are all of the orders that went to the lab already. Okay. So let's say that you want to see the details of that order and you want to keep a file of the order that you placed. You can download the order and you're going to be able to see in your downloads the order that you placed. And let me share that screen because I have to share the screen. And you're going to be able to see the order that you just placed. So you see, this is a new order. It's not a duplicate. It's not a warranty. And you're going to be able to see the doctor's name, the patient's name, if you order the right lens or the left lens, and the entire prescription that you order. So you can actually get organized and keep a file of all of the orders that you have placed using the portal. Now, let's go into the email confirmation that you're going to be able to receive. So whenever you placed an order, you're going to receive an email to the email address that you have put in your profile. So this is, for example, this is your email, Gmail, right? And here we just placed an order, patient Heita Malgari, supplier Excel. Let's go down. And here you're going to be able to see the actual order that you placed. Okay. Additional to hand question, what will be the options for those orders received which have been damaged? What will be the flow? Orders that have been damaged? What do you mean by that question, Joey? Orders that have been damaged, meaning you want to get a warranty? The question is not clear, Joey, and I would like to understand your question a little bit further in order to answer it properly. If you have a lens that has been damaged and the lens is, or you received a lens that is not correct, you go into your processed orders and you placed a warranty order. And in the comments, you say, I want to place an order. So let me go to the screen. So here, process orders. So let's say that you received this order for patient Heita Malgari. And that order you received and the lens was broken, or the lens was scratched, or you didn't like the lens for reason A, B, or Z. So you generate a warranty. So process orders. P details. Oh, give me 1 second. So let's do it here because I already generated these two warranties. If the system is not going to allow me to generate another warranty. So let's generate this warranty. Okay, so generate warranty. Okay, I do want to process this warranty. Okay, and here is where I type the comments. The lens came in with the wrong power. Please make the lens again. The lens is also broken. You already generated a warranty for that patient because the lens came in improperly. If you have received an empty vial without the lens, you can also do the same thing, Subo. You can go into your orders and you can generate a warranty and you can type in, I received the lens, I received the vial, and it was an empty vial. I received the order, but no lens was in the vial. And you can also attach pictures. So let's do it to show you again. Process orders. Let's do this one. So let's generate a warranty. Okay. And let's type it exactly what happened. I want the same lens. The lens, the vial came with no lens. I did not receive a lens. Please make the same lens again. And you can choose to add a picture of the actual empty vial that you received. And here, we're going to receive your documents and we're going to receive your picture. Boom, voila, you already placed your warranty. Questions? Do you want to place more orders? Do you want me to guide you through on how to place any other design? Joy, I noticed there are cases for a credit note. Can we see the options in the portal So if you need a credit note, you need to send us, if it's not a warranty, you cannot do that through the portal. You have to send us an email. He asked, I noticed that cases for credit note. Can we see the option in the portal? No. If you, for example, if the package was lost and something happened to the package and you need to receive a credit note on that particular package because the package was mishandled by UPS or something happened, you send us an email. Hey, tracking number 1Z46Y46, the package was not received. Apparently UPS lost the package. Please help me with a credit note. We can do that, but through email. The portal is only to place orders and to place warranties. But every single one of the Excel designs is going to be here. So you have three main tabs: Excel RGPs, Excel Atlantis, and Excel Custom Soft. Guys, we launched this in Latin America first because that's our biggest market. And we have seen a significant reduction on errors, on lenses, faster lenses, and faster deliveries, because it's very important. If you want to order a lens, for example, an RGP, an Apex, and you don't mark the color. So let's say that I want base curve 7.8, diameter 9.8, the edge power -3. If you don't type in the color or the edge, the system is not going to allow you to move forward and place that order. So you immediately know that that lens is going to get kicked back to you. So instead of sending an email and waiting 24 hours for us to respond, and then 48 hours after you get the response from us, and then you have to contact your doctor, get that information, that's another 2 or 3 days. That lens has been delayed now for a week. But knowing that the color is missing, you can immediately call your doctor that placed the order and say, hey, what color do you want? What edge do you want? Flat, medium, or steep? And please remember, every single fitting set of Apex, Pinnacle, Titan, or even Atlantis, you need to mark the edge. So it is very important to note that if you add your lenses to the cart and you don't release them, those lenses are not going to be placed. They're going to be left in your cart. Just like when you do Amazon purchases, you purchase a lot of things, they get added to your cart. If you don't hit buy now, those orders are never going to go anywhere. But you also have the option to hit buy now if you know for sure that you want that lens. Questions? Okay, let's answer the questions. Okay. Joey, I don't know if you heard me, but I told you that the shipped orders or lenses ready are not ready yet. You're only going to be able to see pending orders or processed orders. In a few months, you're going to be able to see shipped orders and orders that are ready. But for now, you only are able to see processed orders or pending orders. So for example, I want to show you something. This is my admin portal, okay? So these are all the orders that our customers are placing. So here, this is the admin portal. So this looks completely different from yours, okay? So far this month, we have processed 5,584 orders. So as you can see, a lot of customers are now ordering through the portal, and they love it. So here, let's say that these are all the orders that our customers have placed today that have not been released. Okay? So for example, this is Dr. David Avisar. Okay? And all of these orders are to be processed within the next hour or two. But let's say I can also see in my admin portal, I can also see your shopping carts. Okay? So let's say that I want to see the shopping cart of my distributor in Turkey. Okay? So my distributor in Turkey has all of these orders. And look, they have orders even from September 22nd, October 19th, October 19th, October 22nd. So all these orders that they're placing, they have not been placed. They have been in their shopping cart. We don't go into your shopping cart because customers may like to keep their orders there for a week or two, or maybe a month, because the customer hasn't paid, because they don't know if the customer wants to place the order or not, and so forth. Okay? Guys, please let us know if you have any questions. We're always free to answer any questions, concerns that you might have. Please play with the portal. One of my dear friends, Dr. Pierre Antaki, has placed orders to the portal and he's loving the system. You will get an immediate confirmation what the order has been placed. You will receive an email. Let me show you the email again. This is how the email will look like. And you're going to see a PDF with the confirmation order that you had just placed that order, okay? So here you're going to be able to see the order of exactly what you placed. Okay, guys, I told you this was going to be very simple, very easy to use, user-friendly, and is a system created for dummies. So anything that you think that we might be able to improve, please let us know. It took us 5 years, so I hope that everyone can enjoy the system. Are there any more questions? Okay, guys. No more questions, I see. Enjoy the system. I hope that it helps you a lot. And this system was created for you and your patients. So let us know how we can help. Okay? If there's anything else, you can also send me an email, and you also have my WhatsApp number. So thank you. I appreciate all your help. Bye-bye.